You are now listening to Dark Podcast. And welcome to the Dark Podcast. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. Today we'll be talking about the Solomon Testimony, Rxtarr, the upcoming artist, new COPPA rules, and more. Also, thank you to our sponsor, DXRK. You will find them in the description below. Let's hop right into it. From yesterday, we have the Solomon Testimony. A headline from Fox News reads, Trump says it's all over for impeachment inquiry after the Solomon Testimony. What do you think about it? I don't think this will do anything, actually. The Democrats will not stop, and they will insist on trying to nitpick every one of Trump's flaws until they try to make a case for impeachment. Like, they're basically animals trying to eat a statue. They aren't going to get anything out of it, but they will still try. It's one of the main reasons why I don't like Democrats or Republicans, and I think that Americans are too polarized when it comes to politics itself. I mean, some examples are clearly nothing gets done in the House or the Senate. We have extremist groups like Antifa and Proud Boys. We have leftist extremism. We have third-wave feminism and violence in general. And we will not spend a lot of time on this topic, as I would not like this podcast to become political in any means. So, in other news, Rxtarr, a rising artist in the music community, he has gained over 1,582 followers on Instagram as of November 20th, 2019, and over 266 followers on SoundCloud. His most played song, XO Love Life / No More, Fioski, has over 41,000 plays on SoundCloud. This guy's an artist on the rise, and I would love to see him in the show in the future. I listen to his music personally, and I like it. I've most recently listened to Billy, which is on my SoundCloud right now. You can find Rxtarr on Spotify, Apple Music, Snapchat, Instagram, and SoundCloud. I only have respect for him, and he does sound decent. Don't mind checking him out in the description. His link to his SoundCloud will be there. I mean, I personally have tried creating music, and I kind of suck at it. And I know that it can be hard at times, especially in the beginning stages when you're trying to get off the ground, and it's really hard. It really is. And I feel that maybe that there should be a better system for the underground community, because let's be real, no one makes it in the underground community, and I would like to see more people in the underground community actually making it to the big leagues. And of course, we have our featured song of the day, White Butterflies, produced by Veery Cloud by Rxtarr. Link will also be in the description. Now, moving on to another topic, once again, we have the new COPPA rules that will be put into effect here as of 2020. This affects every YouTube channel that I've ever managed and am managing. I have MT Videos, DXRK, Piano Covers Daily, and Self Promo. All these YouTube channels, I might possibly stop uploading on all of them if this new rule actually passes. This rule actually would severely affect a lot of channels. It's basically a child protection service rule that would hurt our community in itself. Let's put it in a hypothetical situation here. In all these channels that I have managed, I have attained over 10,000 views. Almost half of them came from recommendations. With the new COPPA rules, if YouTube deems my content made for kids, my videos don't get recommended, which is my main source of viewing. I miss out on 5,000 views. That's only $20 for me with my CPM, so no problem financially. For the growth of my channel, I miss out on 5,000 people. My average subscriber rate is around 5% of my viewers. That's still 100 new subscribers I missed out on, thanks to this new rule. Bigger channels would be even affected even more, like H3, or even like history channels and like official channels like National Geographic. If COPPA does go into full effect, though, please follow at JCDL4 on Instagram for updates on this channel and other channels like DXRK. And going deeper into COPPA, I actually have Matthew Danielson owner of DXRK, in the studio with me right now. Matthew, what do you think about the new COPPA rule that has been suggested for YouTube itself and YouTube's channels? Since I know that you are a gaming channel, and that they would deem gaming for kids, which would severely affect your recommendations and you as a creator. By the way, you can find DXRK in the link in the description. Thank you.
Well, yeah, well, I don't know much about this. I know, bright colors. I don't know much about it.
Well, basically, if this rule to go into effect, it's okay. It's okay to be nervous. If this rule goes into effect, we, everyone, gaming creators, which I know that's what you are, gaming creators, history channels, toy channels, even if they are made for adults, they will all get made for kids, and that severely affects their channels as they lose out on all monetization. They lose out on recommendations. Their notifications do not get pushed out to people, and they lose even more subscribers from that. And that is a problem for the YouTube platform itself. It's like it's killing itself on purpose. This would affect your channel severely, with your most highest viewed video being 1.7K, with most of that through recommendations. You would have probably only gotten like 50 views on that video, which would not have boosted your channel to where it is right now. It would probably still be in the dumps if COPPA was in effect.
Yeah.
So are you for COPPA? No?
No.
Well, here's my viewpoint on it. COPPA will only discourage kids' content, and in 5 years, kids will have no content to watch, as there is no incentive to create kids' content. It will all be mature content. But to have your voice heard, create a video about it using the hashtag COPPA, and make the government know that your voice is out there. Now, going on from COPPA, since I do not want to negatively affect your mind here tonight with the disturbing news that the government is trying to go on, we have other news coming up here later in the podcast. Stay tuned.
Had a bitch, her name was Lacey. She played me, had me fucking going brazy. And Daisy, she broke my heart on the daily. Now she acting like she hate me. It's crazy. Throw my fucking pizza, Elisa. Thought you was my Mona Lisa. I leave her. Had a bitch, her name was Nina. A Libra, but I knew she was a eater, a cheater. If I can't even trust you, how the fuck I'm ever supposed to love you? All my niggas told me I should love you. Now I'm stuck, don't even wanna fuck you. I had Sarah in a condo just to cover up my cuts. I could never say I love her, but I lush. She looked me in the eye, she was asking for the truth. So I tell her now she fucking hates me too. Now she's screaming and fussing, she's throwing shit at the wall. Let's just end the discussion, I thought I told you don't fall. I don't wanna lie to you again. Sorry that I hurt you in the end. Her name was Lacey, she played me, had me fucking going brazy. And Daisy, she broke my heart on the daily. Now she acting like she hates me, it's crazy. Throw my fucking pizza, Elisa. Thought you was my Mona Lisa. I leave her, had a bitch, her name was Nina. A Libra, but I knew she was a eater, a cheater. If I can't even trust you, how the fuck I'm ever supposed to love you? All my niggas told me I should love you. Now I'm stuck, don't even wanna fuck you.
I knew a bitch Amina, I hate her. She get drunk and act a fool, she a fucking traitor. She gave my heart a crater and now I'm broken. I was one when I had Rosie, but now I'm frozen. When I'm lost inside my head, I just be dozing off. She call me wasting time, I might just blow her off. I don't even really care, but I be going off. Sometimes I don't know the shit that's going on. When you know better, then you do better. Thought I knew better. Saw her last week and she already got a new nigga. She can't tell the truth, baby, who you think you lying to? I ain't even Fuck these bitches, made me just not give a damn.
She played me, had me fucking going crazy. And Daisy, she broke my heart on the daily. Now she acting like she hate me. It's crazy. Throw my fucking pizza, Elisa. Thought you was my Mona Lisa. I leave her, had a bitch, her name was Nina. A Libra, but I knew she was a eater, a cheater. If I can't even trust you, how the fuck I'm ever supposed to love you? All my niggas told me I should love you. Now I'm stuck, don't even wanna fuck you.
Hello guys, and now we are back in the studio. Welcome. We have an interesting headline here that reads, Iran begins reconnecting the internet after shutdown over protests. Iran on Thursday began restoring internet access in the capital Tehran in a number of provinces, news agencies and residents said, after a 5-day-long nationwide shutdown meant to help stifle protests against fuel price hikes. Matthew, what do you think about this?
I wasn't watching that. I didn't.
Basically, they shut down their internet.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay. They shut down their internet because of protests, and it's gonna make them. It's okay. This is when we were in CNN. It said that that it's gonna make them harder to go to their meetings thing without internet.
Great, nothing to add. Okay, moving on. The Revolutionary Guard said calm had returned across Iran. State TV reported Amnesty International said over 100 demonstrators have been killed by security forces, a figure rejected as speculative by the government. The internet is being gradually restored in the country. Quote, the semi-official news agency FARS said, quoting unidentified informed sources. FARS quoted the sources as saying the National Security Council that had ordered the shutdown approved reactivating the internet in some areas, quote unquote. And according to reports so far, fixed line internet has been restored in Hormozgan, Kamashan, Iraq, Mashhad, Qom, Tabriz, Hamadan, and Bushehr provinces and parts of Tehran. We again have internet. As of an hour ago, a retired engineer who declined to be named said by telephone from Tehran. The internet blockage made it so difficult for protesters to post videos on social media to generate support and also to obtain reliable reports on the extent of the unrest. This does truly show the corruption that Iran is in, and I think that it supports an Iran ban from President Trump. And I fully support that. And I think that Democrats are overreacting whenever Trump says we're going to ban this one country. I think that is for a good reason. Corruption status in Iran is at an all-time high with this. And I don't think it's right. As even U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday criticized Iran for blocking the internet. And the internet is such a big role in everyone's lives. Everyone uses it, every single person. You probably use it more times in one day than you probably think you do. And that says something about us as a society and us as people, really. And this accident, or it's probably not an accident, it was on purpose by Iran, shows how much we depend on the internet for everything. And that we should really become more dependent on other sources of news and recognition and help, rather than just posting it on social media or getting attention or calling your friend to help. Iran has become so unstable that they shut down their own internet, try to stop their own violence in their own country. This is terrible. The International Monetary Fund said it regretted the violence and loss of life during the protests and had not discussed the gasoline price hike with Iran. It all started with gasoline, a finite resource that people were fighting over. This is unacceptable. This is crazy. This is weird. To combat gasoline protests, they shut down the internet. They didn't send in any military efforts or anything like that. They shut down the internet. IMF spokeswoman Camelia Anderson added, in general, the IMF continues to advise oil-producing countries in the Middle East and Central Asia region to reduce fuel subsidies while compensating the poor with targeted cash transfers, and we understand that it is the approach that Iran has taken. It is not the right approach, clearly, if they cannot stop their own protests within their country without shutting down basically a necessity of life at this point. People would probably classify internet as being a necessity of life. If we're all being truthful right now. More people have a phone than they do with actual toilets. That's a weird statistic, but that just shows you how much that we rely on the internet and how it's became a needed resource for everyone in the world. So, sorry about that. The Iran's UN mission on Wednesday dismissed the casualty report, though, as speculative and not reliable. The Iranian authorities said several people, including members of the security forces and policemen, were killed in street violence, which Tehran blamed on foreign foes. Thank you, Reuters News Now. This article comes from. This is weird. What do you think about this? Asking you, Matt Hansen, owner Die Here for X.
What do I think about this?
Yes, Iran shutting down the internet over gasoline protest.
Well, I don't know what it's gonna do, but and are they still protesting?
Are they still protesting? I do not know. Iran has been secretive about their actions within the country. And with them shutting down the internet, it has created even more confusion within the country and outside the country about what's actually going on. They have sent in riot police, though, as of November 16th, 2019, as West Asian News Agency reports. Do you think that this is the right approach? Do you think that they should probably go with something else?
Yeah.
I think that they could... maybe use Iran peacemakers, the UN peacemakers, instead of actually rioting. Because I just don't think that's right. And what even is the Iran laws on protesting? I do not know. But the Iranian government is on the government corruption watch list. Because since protests first occurred in December 2017, authorities have systematically violated the rights of citizens to peacefully assemble, arbitrarily arresting thousands of protesters. That is a basic human right, and 30 basic human rights listed. I do believe that they should get some UN peacemakers in the country to stop these protests right away. On February 19th and 20th of this year, several media reported that the clashes between security forces and protesters from the Dervish community, a Muslim minority group, had left several dozen dervishes severely injured and 4 law enforcement agents dead, including 3 who were struck by a bus. On March 4th, authorities informed the family of Muhammad Rahi, one of those arrested, that he had died in custody. So not only do they have problems with their own protest, they have problems within their legal system. If you have prisoners dying, that shows just the sheer lack of actual hygienic quality of your prison. Authorities have refused to provide any explanation for Raji's death, which has been led to believe that they murdered him, and have threatened reprisals against his family if they speak publicly about it. On March 18th, after a rapid trial that concluded over a few weeks after his arrest and allegations of police torture, a court sentenced Muhammad Salis, a dervish member who was arrested during the clashes, to death for allegedly driving the bus that ran over and killed 3 officers. Authorities executed Salis on June 18th. Since May 2018, revolutionary courts have sentenced at least 208 members of the Dervish religious minority to prison terms and other punishments in trials that violate their basic rights as human beings in this world, in this universe. On July 31st, a new wave of anti-government protests began in the city of Asifan and quickly spread to other cities, including Karaj in Alborz province and Tehran, the capital. Since August 3rd, authorities have detained more over 50 men and women they arrested during the protests and held them in prisons in Tehran, the capital. This really does show the corruption level that they are at, and they should probably fix up their country before someone else does it for them. I can see with a country this unstable that neighboring countries, or even countries across the sea, would invade them. Iran also believes in the death penalty, because according to the rights group on hrw.org, Iran executed at least 225 innocent people as of November 9th, compared to 507 in 2017, which is good. It's good. It's decreasing. It's decreasing largely due to the amendment to Iran's drug law that went into force in November 2017, which was good. No one's getting executed over drug offenses. That is decently good. But it does not stop that they have protests, they don't know how to deal with them, and their government is unstable in itself. They need to fix their country and fix it fast before national police and international police and armies come and fix it for them. Thank you. We'll be right back after this short song.
The Ultimate Cheesy Garlic Bread Collection from Subway presents the Ultimate Holiday Song.
Deck the bread with buttery garlic. Ultimate. Taste the melty mozzarella. Ultimate.
Done we now our tender steak.
Ultimate. Try it now before it's too late. Ultimate.
Try the new Ultimate Steak, part of the Ultimate Cheesy Garlic Bread Collection, only at Subway.
Participating restaurants.
It's not just the ships, the armor, or aircraft. It's the will to fight and determination to win, found inside every Marine. Battles won.
You are now listening to Dark.
Baby, bad like Billie Eilish. I wish I was living life on foreign islands with diamonds. My crib is so insane, I don't need no stylist. You care about what I say, man, it's super childish. Baby, bad like Billie Eilish. I wish I was living life on foreign islands with diamonds. My crib is so insane,
You are now listening to
you care about what I say, man, it's super childish. I gotta go chase this dream. You was a joke, you a meme. It seems that you offer the lean. Shoot with the laser, the beam is green. I stay with the gang and the meanest team. It's never gonna be what it seems to be. My flow so cold you can stand the heat. I'm tryna bust my wrist, tryna go catch some fish. I'm ballin' but no assist. Come to my show but you missed it. Ballin' like I was a piss. I am the coach you assisted. Stacking them bills like I'm Clinton. You was a boy, you an infant. She gon' wait for me, they gon' hate on me. Living gracefully, yeah. She gon' wait for me, they gon' hate on me. Living gracefully, yeah. Baby, bad like Billie Eilish. I wish I was living life on foreign islands with diamonds. My crib is so insane, I don't need no stylist. You care about what I say, man, it's super childish. Baby, bad like Billie Eilish. I wish I was living life on foreign islands with diamonds. My crib is so insane, I don't need no stylist. You care about what I say, man, it's super childish.
welcome back. We are back here, and our final topic tonight will be discussing our personal lives, and more importantly, the YouTube channels that we own, our brand, the brand building that we've been going through for the past year, and where we are now. Matthew, I know that you were the owner of DXRK, over 3,500 views and over 100 subscribers. How did you get to that point?
Well, Hold.io, that video really boosted us with 1,700, and what's the word? Promoting it on other platforms and just getting subscribers, and yeah, that's all about it.
What is your genre of videos that you make?
Gaming, basically that's what we do, is gaming.
What do you think about maybe in the future there'd be a rapid decrease of interest in gaming? Do you think that you would be able to switch over to different types of content fairly easily?
Probably. I'm not gonna say I could, but I probably could.
Now, how did you build your brand and your brand recognition, the logo, and the name?
Like I said, promoting.
But how did you make the name?
Oh, how did I make the name?
And the logo.
Okay. Well, the name, first of all, came from PewDiePie Tuber Simulator. That was that. It was one of the generated names, I'm pretty sure. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And came up with that name, so I did that. So yeah.
What do you think about the logo though? Like how do you create the logo of the Infamous hand and the controller? Do you not know? No, you do not know. Well, that is okay. So, where do you see your YouTube channel in 2 years?
I hope I get to, I'm gonna hope I can get maybe a capture card, or some type of, so I can record for longer periods of time and do more gameplay, so I can grow my channel even more, and just day by day. So I hope to see my channel at least be getting 1,000 subscribers.
Do you think that you'd get monetized in the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, I'm hoping, yes.
Well, thank you. That was DXRK, our sponsor. Check them out. Link in the description. Follow them, like them. I am the editor for that channel, along with other editors for multiple channels, including MP Videos, Self-Promo, and many more. If you want links to those channels, comment down below, and I will paste them. Now, moving on to my experience as becoming a brand and building my internet recognizability. I started off as wanting to be this really piano cover guy, with my first YouTube channel being in like 5th grade when I tried creating a piano cover YouTube channel. It unfortunately failed. It got like 20 views, that was it. 1 subscriber, which was from my other account, and it sucked overall. And then fast forward 2 years later, I created another account called This Is My First Name, This Is My Last Name. I posted a movie trailer and some other content, and the movie trailer got 500 views. It was amazing. That was my first taste of what at least having somewhat of a stable community on YouTube felt like for me, and I liked it. But I eventually switched that channel over to the name MT Videos. I did unfortunately remove my movie trailer, but you can find it under the playlist section in my channel, titled First Videos, to view all my first videos there. And I changed it into more of a film-based YouTube channel, because I feel like my passion is in film and editing, and I want to build my brand with that. So I actually did reach out to a couple of YouTubers and asked, hey, can I edit for you? And I did, and I will not disclose their names. because I do not want their brands to be severely affected, because we have unfortunately cut ties. But I will tell you who I still edit for. I edit for Self Promo. I edit for DXRK, which was Matthew, who's just on the show, and I edit for myself, clearly. And I also have a podcast now, Dark Podcast. You can also find us on Anchor with Falling Asleep with James, a different type of podcast for when you want to fall asleep to a calm voice. I will link that in the description later, or maybe, click on the top right-hand corner of the video if I do have time to link that. And all I'm trying to do is basically build my brand, my friend's brand, and the people I edit for this brand. I do see myself in 2 years on MT Videos with over 100 subscribers. Not as ambiguous as the 1,000 subscribers DieHard4X will probably have, but with a decent amount of maybe like 10,000 to 20,000 views. I would be okay with that, as I would like to release my first short film here at the beginning of summer, and I would like to build this podcast as well. I see this podcast in a year with over, I don't know, maybe just 50 subscribers will be fine for me. I'm not really wanting this podcast to go viral. I really want it just be for me to sit down and talk to you guys for a little bit about some random stuff, and maybe grow an audience and push this audience from this channel to my different ones and the ones I edit for. Next week we will be talking more about video editing along with some other news stories. I hope you had an amazing time today listening to the Dark Podcast. Hope you check out the link to our sponsors down below. DieHard4X, subscribe and view his recent video. I do not know if he's posted anything. And have a great day. And also remember that we will be doing one of these podcasts every week. So if you want to be notified when we do start live streaming or when a podcast has been released, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to follow us on Anchor at James_Danielson. We will be doing some giveaways for them down below. Every 1,000 plays, I get $15 into my PayPal. I will send a random subscriber or a random Anchor subscriber $5. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Growing up and hit this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you niggas have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have shit? Look in the mirror now, feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to trapping. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, niggas try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you niggas can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. If you growing up and hit this magic, with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you niggas have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have shit? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to trapping. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty use a one-nighter, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig selling weed, had to watch for the jakes. On the road, this shit crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm selling dope. Foreign cars, driving fast, I never
You are now listening to Dark Podcast.